Hello
Hello
everyone,
everyone.
and welcome back to my YouTube channel. This is Nuzla Abdul Halim. Today I'm bringing forth a guest, my amazing friend Abdul Sheikh, who is ready to talk on the male stand on the aspects of gender-based violence. Currently, I'd like him to introduce himself so that you can know better who he is.
Hello everyone, I'm Abdul Sheikh, second year student here at the University of Nairobi, studying international studies under the Department of Diplomacy and International Studies. Thank you for welcoming me and look forward to having a meaningful discussion with you all.
Please everyone ensure to subscribe, like, comment and share. Okay, so everyone, from my previous videos, I've been very much eager to know on the male stand on the aspects of GBV. And today I'm more than glad actually, my friend here is ready to talk about it. So just to begin with, Abdul, with this growing prevalence of femicide and the rise of more girls' initiatives empowering girls, ladies and women out there, I've had some instances where men feel marginalized in the community, that the more the spotlight has mostly gone to the women instead of also adding the male gender into it. So what is your stand on such proposition from the male community in our society today?
I believe these organizations, these awareness initiatives, these empowerment initiatives started because women faced sexual discrimination, violence, intimidation for so long. They had enough. That's how they came up to be. But now the question of some men feeling marginalized and not involved in those discussions, I believe there are some men who feel like that, and to some instances, it is true they are marginalized because the world sometimes makes these gender discussions seem a bit one-sided, mostly women-sided. But I think I would say this has nothing to do with empowering one, but empowering all genders, everybody at the table. So I think to have a powerful society, to have a safe society, we should involve everybody in those discussions, both men, women, and basically both women and men, because this is not a zero-sum game where if one gender increases in something, gains something, that means the other one will lose.
Yes.
So I believe we should have discussions involving all genders.
Yes. Do you think by any chance you would ever start up an initiative that will be basically focusing on the male gender now, amplifying their voices, and all, just like the way the women out there are starting up several initiatives to amplify the voices of the oppressed women?
I believe there should be organizations that help individually, but that doesn't mean they're excluding the other gender, because to have a peaceful society, because that's at the end of the day, that's what we try to gain. We should have everybody involved.
Yes.
And I would say there are other organizations, other initiatives that help with each gender, like men's mental health, empowering women.
Yes.
But the underlining point should be we should be working together and not working against each other. We should not let gender discussions be gender wars, because at the end of the day, nothing is gained from wars, especially in this 21st century, gender wars.
Yes. Thank you very much, Mr. Abdul. So now when we move on, another bugging issue or another bugging query that I had is why do you think, what is your stand on this? Why do you think some men perpetrate GBV, and what is your position in addressing such atrocity or crime?
I believe the reason of the existence of this the structures of GBV would be a lot of reasons. To begin with, the one I would say I blame number one for it is social conditioning, how we are raised, particularly as men. Sometimes our cultures teach us that dominance is what is called masculinity, or masculinity is dominance or abuse or control to some extent.
Yeah.
So I believe if we get to have better or proper cultural engagement, cultural understanding, cultural change, we can get rid of GBV.
Yeah.
The second reason I would primarily blame for is maybe substance abuse. When people are under the abuse of alcohol, maybe other drugs, they tend to not be themselves. Some people tend to become more violent. So under that, there would be more
abuse
advocated,
perpetrated towards the women. Yeah, that's right. And Abdul Khair, if we look into Afghanistan, what the Taliban are now proposing, they're proposing for the abuse of women, and it's not considered as a crime in that particular country. Do you think religion could also be one of the reasons behind this perpetration of men GBV towards women?
Yes, to some extent, I do believe people use religion as a form of control over situations like this, because as Karl Marx said, religion is the opium of the masses. They use religion to foster now obedience, or to have people under their control. If you start questioning, they'll start to ask the question, you're going against God? Are you going against the word of God? But I do believe, speaking from the religion itself, the religion does not promote those types of behaviors, but it is primarily a culture of theirs, an Afghani Taliban. Let me say the Taliban culture, because I don't know what they get from oppressing them, but I believe it is more of a culture and not religion. But they use the religion to quote it, to cover it, so that people don't revolt against it.
Okay. I think that is clearly understood. Religion is not really advocating for such thing. Oppressing a woman is very, very much against the teachings of the religion. So moving forward, I've had an instance in the khair. Okay, in my previous video, I made it anonymous. We had an instance where a man who was intoxicated, he was drunk, he moved forward, saw a girl and started demanding some things. The girl was ready to comply, but then even through that process, the man ended up abusing the girl. Like, he ended up beating her, So, and the girl was not ready to just accept the abuse. She decided to retaliate. So in these kind of instances, we have the men just demanding things from women, and when we comply, or any lady out there complies, they still act aggressively. In my point of view, I feel like this is all because of ego or masculinity superiority complex. From your perspective, I'd like to know, what do you think this kind of behavior could be interpreted as?
I believe I'd agree with you. It is more centered on ego and superiority complex, particularly in this case, masculinity superiority complex.
Yes.
Demanding. I've heard of the case. It was big in the school. It reached a lot of audience, and what I heard from him, because I've heard there were more than one person.
Yes.
They were drinking in school. They were under the influence of alcohol, but still that doesn't give them the right, or it doesn't excuse them for behaving the way they behaved back then, because he had no authority to ask for or demand those things he demanded.
Yes.
But I do agree with you. It revolves more around the ego and wanting things to be
to happen
the way he or they wants.
Okay. That's I understand that one. So I guess on that part we are similar in terms of thoughts. So to conclude on this discussion of the khair, what do you think? Okay, as part of your advocacy, what would be your message to the men, to the female out there, on addressing such kind of a matter? What would you like the women to do, or the men to do, in order to prevent GBV cases, or to address this matter? What is your message?
My message to the girls or to the women who are advocating for these things are, number one, to know their rights. Go out there, do research, learn about your rights, learn who can ask you things, who cannot ask you things, like with the situation we just mentioned. Only authorities at the university, maybe the guards or the officials at the university, were the only ones who were to ask her about the things he requested.
Yes.
So I would say know your rights. Yeah. And another advice would be talk out, reach out, never suffer in silence, because everybody, or to those who care, are out there advocating for you, advocating for your life, and many other things. So do not suffer in silence. Reach out. To the men particularly, I would say we abandon the negative aspects of our cultures.
Yes.
The masculinity is equals to dominance aspect of our culture.
Yes.
And maybe learn to regulate our emotions most of the time, because when things get out of control, when bad things happen. So I'd say let's abandon the negative aspects of our culture and be a bit more of emotional intelligence.
Okay. Oh my God. Thank you so much, Abdel Khair. I think I have learned a lot from our discussion, and I hope all of you have as well. Everyone, for today, I think our discussion ends here. This was just a short discussion with my friend here, but we will come back next time with more. Everyone, please ensure to subscribe, like, comment, and share so that we can do more of such discussions and ensure that advocacy is done. Thank you so much.